Hey, hi, hello. It is Sierra here with another video. I tried to film this video and it ended up looking like this. So today we are going to be looking at some mountain scenery as we talk about the 7 negative habits that are ruining your life. Now, really quick before we get started, none of these habits or feelings are inherently bad. I think pretty much all of us have felt them at some point in time, and there's really nothing wrong with them, but I just want to make this video for people who might be feeling any one of these in excess. So while you're watching this video, I just want you to reflect on each of these 7 topics and think to yourself, is this something that I deal with often? And is there something I could do to make this better? So the first negative habit that we're going to talk about today is self-doubt. Now, self-doubt can be caused internally by our own thoughts and emotions towards our self-esteem, but it can also be caused externally by the people around you, whether they tease you or they're just downright mean to you. That can also make you feel doubt towards yourself. Experiencing a lot of self-doubt can really hold you back, so this is definitely something you should identify if you're feeling it pretty often. I've definitely had my own bouts of self-doubt, especially regarding my own work towards my photography. That is something that I put a lot of my time and energy into, so oftentimes I kind of wonder, is this really good or not? So in order to get over this self-doubt, we talked about it being external or internal, but I also want you to think about the root of where this is coming from. Is it coming from expectations, whether that's your own expectations or others' expectations placed on you? Or is it an issue of comparison? Are you comparing yourself to others? Are you constantly being compared to others? Overcoming self-doubt is going to be so instrumental in you being able to take chances and have the confidence to try new things. And it'll also help you to reduce your anxiety when going into new situations, new problems. And hopefully it can help you to also just take a more relaxed approach. The second habit I'm going to be talking about is perfectionism. Now, in this day and age, it's really hard to get away from this. All over social media, everybody looks perfect and beautiful, and it's hard to not think that this is their life, and it's hard to not aspire to something like that. But the truth is that perfection is not achievable. And that's something that I have to remind myself too. And trying to be a perfectionist can sometimes lead to over-exaggerated insecurity. And what I mean by that is when you're just overthinking every little thing that you're doing and you're just trying really hard to be so perfect, it can actually reverse and make you feel worse about yourself, especially if you're not able to achieve that perfectionism that you set out to. So, for example, if you see an influencer and you're trying to lose weight to look like them, it's likely that it'll be very difficult or near impossible for that to happen because, everybody's using Facetune. So if you're someone who gets caught up in the loop of perfectionism, just try to remember that slowing down, embracing your flaws as well as other people's flaws will just help you to overall be a lot happier and to have a lot more satisfaction in life and in your achievements. The third habit is worry. This has pretty much been unavoidable this year, due to certain things. But one thing to remember is that although with the circumstances of the world right now, worrying doesn't change anything. And at the end of the day, it's bad for your mental health and it's bad for your relationships. So if you're somebody who is constantly worrying and is just caught up in the future and wondering what is going to happen, I suggest trying to distract yourself from those worries with something positive. So whether that's exercising or talking to friends or watching something funny online, I think all of these things are things that we can implement to try to better our mental health and try to distract from that worrying, and to remember that worrying about our problems and other people's problems is not going to fix them. The fourth negative habit is kind of similar to the last one, and it is assuming the worst. I am a big believer in what you put out into the universe is what you get back. So thinking based on those principles, if you're putting a lot of negative energy out into the world and you're assuming everything bad is going to happen to you, then that's probably what's going to happen, and that's going to create your reality, and you and those around you are going to feel this. They're going to feel this energy, and your life isn't going to improve because you constantly have the expectation that things are going to get bad and they can only get worse from here. So if you're someone who tends to feel really negative, I totally understand that, especially right now, but something that has really helped me is just trying to speak good things into reality, whether that's physically speaking or in your head, just trying to think positive thoughts and think about positive things that could happen to you and not automatically expecting the worst. And another really important aspect to this, as cheesy as it sounds, is to just have hope for a better future. And for me, that's something that really keeps me going right now, to, in my heart, really hope for and believe that there are better things ahead. Now, the fifth habit is judgment. Sometimes we end up judging other people completely without realizing it, and I'm guilty of this for sure. And feeling this judgment towards other people can sometimes come out as passive-aggressive, so it can be a little bit more subtle than just being outright aggressive towards people. And this is something that, like the last habit, can really harm your relationships with yourself and with other people. So if you're someone who tends to focus on the negatives about other people, you also probably tend to focus on the negative about yourself. That judgment that is being released on other people is also probably judgment that you feel for yourself. So just reflect on that and think, am I judgmental to others? Are the things that I say coming across in a way that is judgmental? Or are you just judgmental towards yourself? By actively choosing not to judge others and to give them love, you will also be opening up yourself to receive more of that love back. The sixth habit is complaining. It is totally okay to have a bad day, to vent, to be frustrated, but complaining all the time might actually blind you into not seeing the blessings that life has already given you. And I know that life is far from perfect right now, but at the very least, be grateful that you are here, you are alive, and there is a reason that you are on this earth, and I truly believe that. If you end up talking out loud about something and complaining about it, you can counteract it by saying something along the lines of, well, at least blank worked out. So for example, you might have had a bad day and you might be saying, well, I had a horrible day at work, this customer was awful, but hey, at least I got to go to the gym today. Or hey, at least I'm glad I got to talk to you today. So just try to consciously counteract the negative things that you are saying, anything you're complaining about, with something positive. Just take some time to think about the people and the things in your life that you are grateful for and that bring you joy. By practicing this type of mental exercise, this will help you to feel happier because it'll lay out right in front of you what you have to be grateful for. The very last habit I'm going to be talking about is control. The more control we feel, the more confident we feel about achieving our desires, the more confident we feel in a situation. And part of control is also wanting to feel like we're our own person, that there's nobody telling us what to do. We can navigate the world without any help, and nobody is trying to influence our actions. If you're someone who really thinks a lot about control, wants to control the situation, their environment, their friends, just remember that that can lead to a lot of self-blame when things don't go right. The truth is that life is just not always going to go our way, and it's very difficult to try to control different situations, and it's definitely not right to try to control people in your life. So if you're someone who really struggles with this, I know it's easier said than done, but really try not to focus on it. Try not to think so much about how you can control each situation or how it can benefit you. Just try to embrace the uncertainty of life because it can only lead to greater possibility. Thank you so much for watching or listening along. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. Turn on post notifications if you want to be notified when I upload. And feel free to leave a like or comment if you have any suggestions, any ideas of anything that you'd like to see from me. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.